This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Listen, man. Big fish take little guppies. Big fish take little guppies. Big fish take little guppies. Listen, man. I'm the big fish, though. And you got a bunch of little guppies that spreading Hino's Sport name out of their mouths. They can't help themselves. But Hino's Sport doesn't drop names of the little guppies, because guess what? They clout chasing right now. So continue to clout chase. Remember, like NWA say, all publicity is what? Good publicity. Let me say it again. All publicity is what? Good publicity. So thank you for the free promo, you classic dolts and you troglodytes, you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, you Rudy Poo and you plum brains. Thank you. And once again, thank you. Let this marinate in the medulla oblongata. Let this marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum for the number 3 for confirmation. Thank you. So keep promoting me, whether it's directly or indirectly. You're too brain full of mush and brainwash of a dodo head to realize that you're doing that. Now on to the damn video. Errol the True Spence said, F a damn pound for pound. I retired my mom and I retired my dad. I'm celebrating life. Hashtag man down. Hashtag strap season. Hashtag goals. Here's the truth of the fact of the matter, man. People like to sit here and make things and interpret things in their lies and their bias and their classic dodisms and their troglodytism. Their ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric and their Rudy Poo and their plum brainism ways. When really it's not more than meets the eye. Let me say it again. Like Transformers. It's not more than meets the eyes. Let me say it again. Like Transformers. It's not more than meets the eye. A lot of times, things can be looked at as figurative, but sometimes they're literal. In this sense, it's literal. How many fighters could sit here and say that they retired their mom and their dad? This is credit to working up under Al Haymon. This is what Al Haymon does. He creates these men and women of purpose and an abundance mindset that can have generational wealth. See, Errol the True Spence after boxing has man down promotions. This is what he did with Floyd Mayweather. You have to look at the blueprint. So when Errol the True Spence is celebrating life, the man just got a unified belt. That's why he said man down strap season. He's a unified WBC and IBF champion. So he can celebrate. I don't have a problem with a man celebrating. The problem with Rudy Poo and plum brains, they look in too much into stuff. Plum brains. Remember, they're desperate Terrence Bud Crawford fanboy man crushers. They're desperate Bud man fans. They're desperate, as you know what I'm saying, Bud tarts. They can't get it. Just like Bud Light, they are desperate. And they want this fight. Top Rank is doing the lazy promotion that they always do. They basically throw this 50-50 narrative, which is an old school way of negotiating. It doesn't work in this modern day way of negotiating. Al Haymon, the reason why he's able to transcend the sport of boxing is because this man has been a shrewd businessman in the entertainment industry. He's done this before boxing. So he can transcend from one entertainment field to the next and be successful. This is what these folks don't understand. Bob Arum is limited because he's only relegated to the success of boxing. And he's using old school practices that are not going to work. Oh, we're going to bargain 50-50. And then after 50-50, the winner takes 60-40. Yeah, that crap worked old school wise. And see, the reason why it worked with the Deontay Wilder and the Tyson Fury, like I explained, is because, remember, Tyson Fury wasn't with Top Rank. And notice Top Rank is still taking the B-side row because it's 40%. Who do you think is going to get 60? It's going to be Deontay Wilder because he's going to be the winner. Because he's going to flatline and KO Tyson Fury once again. This time, there's not going to be no 13 seconds. When he falls, he falls. Let me say it again. This time, it's not going to be 13 seconds. When he falls, he falls. It's really that simple, folks. And the truth of the fact of the matter, and folks need to understand and get through their corpus callosum and in their cerebellum and get through their medulla oblongata is this. So hear me and hear me well. They need to understand you can't run that nonsense with a guy that's a unified strap season man down. How do you have the audacity to say 50-50 when you have a WBO belt? We established what the WBO means. It means what Bob orders. Let me say it again. It means what Bob orders. That's the truth of the fact of the matter. The WBO belt is just like the IBO. Remember, the IBO became obsolete. You know why? Because it was a joke of a belt. Nobody respected that belt. That's what's happening with WBO. It's a joke of a belt, man. When you have that belt, nobody respects it. It doesn't have the same cachet that the WBA that Manny Pacquiao has, the IBF and the WBC that Errol the True Spence has. It doesn't have those cachets. I'm sorry to say that. Those belts have been around. They are the staple of boxing. WBA being the oldest. But WBC is the money belt. It's the sexy green belt. And IBF because it's the one that upholds the most strictest and stringent standards. These belts mean something. And that's the truth of the fact of the matter. WBO is a joke. Notice all top ranked fighters always have a WBO belt. So this is Rudy Poo and Plum Bum Brainisms. Manny Pacquiao, the era before with Floyd Mayweather. What belt did Floyd Mayweather take from him? The WBO belt. You guys get where I'm going with this? You guys get where I'm running with this? And you guys are understanding the truth of the fact of the matter here? Errol the True Spence is celebrating the fact that he's a unified champion. He beat Sean Constipated Porter 9-3 at worst 8-4. So what is there to not celebrate? Again, show me when Errol the True Spence has an actual drink in his hands. Because like I said, Floyd Mayweather was living in strip clubs. So does that mean you classic Dalton, you troglodyte, you Rudy Poo, you plum brains, you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, you dodo heads, you brain full of mush and you brainwash followers? Does that mean that Floyd Mayweather wasn't taking it serious? See, that's why I said when you listen to the anti or biased or unbiased ants movement, you will be duped. You will be caught up into foolery and nonsense, lies and bias. Cats are telling you, giving you the most honest and unbiased, and follow it immediately with lies and bias. Cats that are sitting here TD typing all over the place. Cats that are sitting here telling you they are all sides of the angle, but they are part-timers of all sides of the angles. This is the thing that people don't understand. He knows his sport stays debunking the nonsense. He stays keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. He stays keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. And like the Tibetan Mastiff that he is, he's applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It busts his fucking pipes, folks. Of these Rudy Poo and these plum brain ultra fanboys. Because we ain't got time for what? The ultra fanboy rhetoric. We kick that thing out the damn door. So a man can't celebrate the fact that he got a unified championship after 26 fights, which is unprecedented, by the way. Because a lot of people usually get this stuff way after the fact. Errol the True Spence is setting a record. And the fact that he was able to retire his mom and his dad after 26 fights, come on, man. Hats off to the guy. You got to salute the dude. So when he's saying fuck pound for pound, he's looking at it bigger than boxing. That's what he means. If you want to know the meaning behind it, because remember, I'm a three-dimensional thinker. So I can tell you, I'm Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, 7 steps ahead of the game. So when I tell you the meaning behind something, it's because I'm in the person's head and I can tell you what they're thinking. Because my brain patterns and my brain waves think on that level. That's why nobody can't see me in a debate, because I move too fast mentally. Let me say that again. Let me rewind that because it needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. The reason why I can't be defeated in debates is because I know the strategies that people are trying to use against me, because I have over 1,000 strategies. And 100% of the times, I'm always using the strategies that they're using and some other strategies on top of it. So I know the strategies that people are saying. And it's so funny when I respond to people in the comment section, I told them this is the strategy the person is using, but here's the weakness behind that strategy. Because I know the weakness behind every strategy. That's why when you use a strategy, when you debate, you're supposed to make sure you have 7 or 8 built-in strategies within the strategy. I'm a master debater, dog. Let me explain that again. When you have a strategy in a debate, you can't just run with that. That's your A game, and you ain't got no plan C, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever, you're screwed. Because with me, you got to have plan Z all the way to infinity, and then some. Let me say it again. You have to have strategies past Z and then some. Because I apply unlimited pressure. Do you guys understand what I mean, the moniker by unlimited pressure? That means I'm going to keep the gas on the pedal. Just like Errol the True Spence keeps the gas on the pedal in the ring. He's the Energizer Bunny. He keeps going and going and going. Just like he likes to beat you at your own style through what's called outworking you and outpacing you and outdoing you. That's how he knows the sport is. So when you listen to these fools, because that's what they are. They're idiots. Because that's what classic adults are. Dumb freaking cavemen. Troglodytes. That's what it is. Dumb freaking cavemen. That's what you have on this YouTube world. A bunch of these cats here. Dumb cavemen. Primitive as fuck in their brains. But they're trying to tell you with their elementary thoughts what a man is actually thinking. You got to listen to a three-dimensional thinker that can interpret that for you. Earl the True Spence is trying to tell Bud, your ass is thinking small-minded. That's why he re-signed with Top Rank. Because he's a small-minded Omaha, Nebraskan. Let me say it again. He's a small, mindless Omaha, Nebraskan. He's only thinking from a small-minded perspective. Whereas Earl the True Spence is looking at the big picture. When you have somebody like Al Haymon in your corner, you're going to think of the big picture. That was so deep and profound. I need to rewind that because it needs to marinate in the medulla oblongata. I'm adding that one into the corpus and callosum and the cerebellum. So hear me and hear me well. When you have Al Haymon in your corner, you're going to look at the big picture. Why do you think he said big fish? It's his way of saying I'm the big picture to you guppies, which is the small picture. Let me say it again. I'm the big fish, which is the big picture to you guppies, the small picture. That's what Earl the True Spence is doing, man. And cats can't see that for what it is. Earl the True Spence is celebrating life. Because this man has accomplished things at close to 30 years old, because he's not 30 yet, he's 29, that a lot of fighters wish they could attain. Why do you think Bomac is coming out saying Earl the True Spence is drunk? That's jealousy, that's envy, man. Those things are just as bad as haters and trolls. They go hand in hand. Because what do haters and trolls do? They get jealous and they get envious. He Knows the Sport knows this. Because those who are not part of the He Knows the Sport movement, the He Knows the Sport lifestyle, and the He Knows the Sport family deal with this on the regular. When you're not a man and a woman with purpose, confidence, and an abundance mindset, and you're a hater and a troll, you're insecure and miserable as fuck in your life, you're going to protrude hate. That's all you're going to know. And that's what you have. A bunch of guys on YouTube that's doing this nonsense. Because they can't stand the fact that a guy can celebrate his success. That's what Earl the True Spence is doing. He's celebrating his success. So that means he's not taking it seriously. So a guy that's a 7-time national champion, which is on his Instagram, is not taking it serious. A guy who accomplished unified champion of WBC and IBF at 26 fights at 29 years old is not taking it serious. Okay, holla at me. A guy that's doing all the heavyweight lifting at the welterweight division while Terrence Bud Crawford is sitting there fighting what? A one-legged Jose Benavidez, a lame duck Jeff Horn, and a 5-year past his prime Amir Khan, and now going to fight a Marvel character, Green Mean Machine? Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Terrence Bud Crawford, let me give you guys some gems here. Because now y'all going to run with this. Remember, He Knows the Sport is always ahead of the pack. Terrence Bud Crawford has been fighting low-level competition for the last 5 years. Let me say that again. Terrence Bud Crawford has been fighting low-level competition for the last 5 years. How do you make the top 3 pound for pound at fighting low-level competition for the last 5 years? Based on that alone, that should tell you why Terrence Bud Crawford was undisputed. And you know, I didn't want to drop those napalms. But it's too easy to be undisputed when your opponent is Victor Postal and your opponent is Indongo. You mean to tell me if Earl the True Spence was at 140 pounds and he was fighting a John Molina, he was fighting a Hank Lundy, he was fighting a Victor Postal, and he was fighting an Indongo, he wouldn't have been undisputed? Come on, folks. Again, boy, you mean to tell me he wouldn't be undisputed? Come on, folks. Even though we know Gamboa was at 135. Come on. This is stuff that I'm talking about. Terrence Bud Crawford is a.k.a. Bud Light. He's too light in the ass. I'm going to rant a little bit. Because this is what He Knows the Sport does. He has to apply unlimited pressure. He has to keep the foot on the what? On the necks. He has to keep the foot on the what? On the necks of these Rudy Poo and these Plum Plum Brain ultra fucking fanboys. Because that's what they are at their truest and their most properest levels. Then they want to sit here instead of, you know, taking in the cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truth of He Knows His Sport. They want to say He Knows His Sport is selective. He Knows His Sport is contradictory. I'm never contradictory. That's one thing nobody can say. You're in contradiction of calling me contradictory. Woof. What I said was so deep and profound. Let me rewind it because it needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum, in the medulla oblongata. You are in contradiction of saying that I'm contradictory because I'm consistent and authentic as fuck. I speak the same language each and every single time. Let me say it again. I speak the same language each and every single time. And I keep that same energy, dog. Just like my fighter, Errol the True Spence. I told you, when you rocking with the best, you don't settle for the rest. When you rocking with the best, you don't settle for the rest. I'm sorry. He knows the sport life is all about rocking with the best. Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, Errol Spence. These are the best. I don't settle for the freaking rest. Let me say it again. Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, Errol Spence, previously Floyd Mayweather. Let me say it again. Previously Floyd Mayweather. When you're rocking with the best, you don't settle for the rest. If I'm the best, I'm only rocking with the best. I don't got time to settle for the rest. That brings too many disappointments. Now, if you guys, 90-something% of you guys, because y'all the rest, y'all want to settle for the rest, go ahead. Terrence Bud Crawford is the rest. I gave you guys the fist of the North Star, you know what I'm saying, simile, but you guys didn't get it. Errol the True Spence is Kenshiro. Terrence Bud Crawford is Raul. Raul was just born in the wrong generation, dog. Y'all go back and watch that anime, you'll understand the full weight and the gravity of what I'm saying. You'll understand my parable. You will understand the deep thinkingness behind what I say. This is for the deep thinkers out here in these boxing streets. The real G's, the super real G's, and the ultimate real G's. You have to get it. Errol Spence is just celebrating life. Can the man breathe for a second? And did you look at the picture? The man was in fucking shape. Still six-pack, booted, and ready to go. Let me say that again. The man was still in fucking shape, six-pack ready to go, booted and in shape. Look at Sean Constipated Porter. The motherfucker blowed up like he was bloated. Let me say it again. He blew up like it was bloated. Couldn't wait until he started eating again. Errol the True Spence is still, each and every time he's giving you guys his vulnerabilities. He's letting you guys know where he stands. He's making a self-assessment of himself, and he's being very critical about it. Because I could see that he's his biggest own critic, because that's what people that are the best do. The Tom Brady's, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryant's, the Kevin Durant's, the Errol Spence, the Floyd Mayweather's previous to that. They're their biggest critics. They hold themselves to a standard like nobody's business. Floyd Mayweather's right there getting ass and titties shaking in his damn face. But he was still hard work and dedication, right? I ain't see nobody talking shit about that. But now Errol Spence is having fun, celebrating his life, and he's not focused like Tank. He's not focused like Adrian Broner. Well, Adrian Broner, I'll give you that one. But last time I checked, Tank is undefeated. So why is Tank even being brought up? Until Tank loses or gets exposed, which hasn't happened on either front, why does he need to be talked about? Errol the True Spence has not lost. He's won every fight. And he's in the first tough fight, mind you, to classic Dolce and Troglodytes, ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric, Rudy Poo and Plum brains. But when you sit back and really look at the totality of it, right? He was also in another tough fight with Kell Brook. Everyone praised him on that. You see what I'm saying? The double standard. But then they want to sit here and get on him about Sean Constipated Porter. But we know the ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric found a way to still try to discredit the Kell Brook fight. Say, oh, well, he had an orbital sock in the Triple G. But Kell Brook and Dominic Engel debunked you guys' foolery by saying that Kell Brook was in the best shape of his life. And when he fought Triple G, that wasn't his natural weight class at the time. Wasn't it welterweight? And Errol the True Spence called out Kell Brook prior to the Triple G fight. See, motherfuckers don't want to mention this shit. But leave it to Hino's sport to always give you that cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truths. Bud is desperate. He doesn't have any opponents, and he doesn't know his lane. He may now recently say, I want the B-side, but Bob Arum is the one saying, no, we're going to use the Wilder and Fury formula. 50-50 for the first fight, and then the winner gets 60-40. So last time I checked, Bud and Bob Arum are not talking the same language. So Bud, get your promoter on the same level. So Errol the True Spence, celebrate yourself, dog. You deserve it. And the new IBF and WBC champion. Errol the Truth Spence, man down, strap season. Do your damn thing, dog. This is Hino Sport, checking out.